Ki khubor ka Batesi TV.
Ka umdi basnyambat penjaslian. Rupa Premium Meghalaya. Ka East West Group of Institution Bangalore, ka Kot Admission nagbenta ka Nursing but Paramedical Course, ka bala itu da ka Indian Nursing Council, ka By Admission ka Badunatam, but 6% ka Jingyokam. Pila ru ban apply da ka Education Loan.
Kamukam College Shillong ka Kot Admission haki degree but diploma course ban long chef hotelier but QA ban dip khap mania fila ban call haki niki number.
The Chief of Culture Unit, Unesco New Delhi, South Asia Regional Office, Kajun Han, Klapan Pau ke Jingkieng Jiri, Bidan Haga Jila Meghalaya, Kidegi Kyrpang. Kajun Jan, Klapan Pau Yagane, Hagajing Ajing Kai Shapang, Jingkieng Jiri, Niki Living Root Bridge, Cultural Landscape, Kabalong Hakapanyotruk Ujumang Arajar Posan, Ha Heritage Club Tripura Castle Shillong, Yakabalapan Bit Penbiang, Degatran Arts and Culture Jangkasorka Jila, Ka UNESCO, Ka Intouch, Ka MBME. Karbana Kalyang Chung Principal Secretary Gatran Forest and Environment Usampat Kumar, Ulet Ho ba umitirang ba ka Jilla Konrad Sangma, Lotrang ban Pendrung ki Jingkieng Jiri Haka World Heritage jang ka UNESCO, ba Ulakularu ban Mang Pisa Kyrpang nakabenta ka ni ka project. Dr. David R. Simli, Ublalong Kubukongsan Haka ni ka Sngi, Lapan Pau ka Jingkimen ban Yo Yathiri Tai Halor ka ni ka Pang, guiding the preparation of World Heritage nomination dossier for Jingkieng Jiri. Ula ongru ba kini Jingkieng Jiri kilong bidan kambha nakbenta kinang shnong.
The Art and Culture Coffee Table.
Been with our communities for centuries together, and it was first recorded in a sketch by Henry Yule, the Scottish geographer and Orientalist, who first documented the living root bridges way back in 1844 and published his observations in the Journal of the Asiatic Society of Bengal, and he then called them the living bridges. Now we know them as living root bridges. He said that the bridge by which we cross is worthy of description, as I believe no account of anything similar has. Really remarkable bridges was what he said, and I think that awe and that wonder of the living root bridges still continues. And he goes on to mention that they were built on a suspension principle across a precipitous gorge at a height of 40 feet above the river. True specimens of Khasi engineering and ingenuity, affording sound footing and firm rails for the hands. So this was what was recorded in 1844 by Henry Yule, almost about 2 centuries ago. And we are here gathered 2 centuries later, hoping that these remarkable works of ingenuity can be showcased to the world, and that this workshop takes us a step closer for these remarkable wonders to be listed in the World Heritage Site of the UNESCO.
So today, I think we learned, in fact, a lot of discoveries happening through this project, the kind of a value proposition that this project has, so much discovery that we could able to find out. Basically, we are following essentially, I would like to tell you, there is a lot of research has been brought in. You must have seen through this project, like the kind of researchers, research institutions that have been engaged to prepare this dossier, and there's a lot of research was happening. At the same time, we also have invested a lot on community participation. This is a very important thing. So Meghalaya is a state actually which has especially the community governance is there. How to bring that strength into this project. So we in fact deliberately we actually built this project as it is nominated by the communities along with the government. So government is a supporting institution, but it is the communities who are actually bringing this entire idea before the world. So that was the kind of a stance that we have taken. And then we also actually, not only that, we also have been investing a third thing, the institution building. So in fact, you all aware, Meghalaya has, this is again a good example. Today, the Art and Culture Department has taken this forward, So while MBDA or MBMA are working as a technical organizations, building that entire knowledge, and then giving it to the department so that it can be sustained, for longer. So that's the kind of an idea. So that's where the beautiful, a model of governance actually has been envisaged in this project, so that for the sustainability of the project and also to bring that outstanding universal value out of this project. So I think that's something that I would like to present to everyone.
It gives me much pleasure to address this gathering in today's workshop on guiding and preparation of World Heritage Nomination dossier for Jingkieng Living Root Bridge Cultural Landscape. I join the government of Meghalaya and the people of Meghalaya in welcoming the visiting UNESCO team to our state. Trust, madam, you have a happy and fruitful visit to our abode of clothes. Your site visit tomorrow to several of the living root bridges will be a remarkable trek. The earliest reference of the living root bridges in the Khasi and Janki hills was Henry Yule's Notes on the Khasi Hills and People, published in the Journal of the Asiatic Society of Bengal, 1844. It provided a sketch of a root bridge across the Temshum. Just mention is made of Temshum. It's not a river or a stream, but just the Temshum. And I wonder whether it's been located, because that would be the first location and sketch that anybody has done. He mentions the trade in oranges, pineapple and betel nut that these bridges facilitated in the southern foothills of the Khasi Hills. This was followed by the botanist Joseph Dalton Hooker with his keen sense of observation in Notes of a Naturalist. It's a 2-volume Himalayan journal published in 1855. It also provides a sketch and a description wherein he writes, the property of their roots which inosculate and form natural grass is taken advantage of in bridging streams and in constructing what are called living bridges of the most picturesque form. While many Jingkieng continue to be in use, several have decayed or grown wild and are in dilapidated state. Sitting and listening to the presentations today, I remembered I have contributed perhaps to one of the earliest references, again in the English language, of a memoir of Robert Lindsay, who makes the first reference to the Khasis visiting Sylhet. Again, that was because he was the superintendent of Sylhet, and he could see what he called Tartars coming from the hills down to the plains carrying iron. And I believe these living root bridges were also used in the carriage, in the transport of iron over our hills. Interest in the living root bridges has in recent times drawn the attention of tourists from near and afar and the keener adventurer. Researchers who surely are avid trackers include those exploring the pollination of the fig species that form the living root bridges in the state of Meghalaya.
On behalf of UNESCO's South Asia Office for this important workshop on the Living Root Bridge, Jingkieng, a truly unique cultural landscape that speaks to the harmony between people and nature. First, I'd like to extend our warm thanks to the government of Meghalaya for their warm welcome and for their sustained efforts to bring international attention to this extraordinary heritage. I also would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the Meghalaya Basin Development Authority, community members, scientists, experts, and government partners who have tirelessly worked over the past several years to conserve and document these living structures. The Living Roots Bridge, or Jingkieng of Meghalaya, are truly unique in the world, shaped not by machines or modern tools, but by generations of indigenous knowledge. These structures represent a rare confluence of ecology, resilience, and tradition. they embody not only the ingenuity of the people who tended them, but also a way of life that respects the natural environment, values intergenerational learning, and lives in deep dialogue with the rhythm of the land. As you know, UNESCO has been advocating for a holistic approach for heritage, one that goes beyond the physical monument to include the living practices, beliefs, and the community systems that give meaning to places. These principles, strongly reinforced by the Naples Conference and its call for action, highlights the interconnectedness between built heritage and living heritage, and urges all of us to view heritage as a dynamic system where tangible and intangible elements are inseparable. UNESCO deeply values traditional knowledge system and recognizes that the long-term safeguarding of these systems depends on their transmission to future generations. Today, we will reflect on how we can best support the government of Meghalaya in safeguarding and transmitting this remarkable traditional knowledge that makes the living root bridge possible.